Tarakudo knew this. She could sense him spying on her all the time. At school, at home, with Jackie. She was just glad he kept his distance and didn't create any problems so far or attack them. She could feel her desire to talk to him grow stronger as time went by. Whether it was to tell him to go away or join him, she couldn't tell. But the urge to interact with him bothered her. Then she noticed little things. Like how when she thanked Jackie for the blanket that she woke up with, and he said he had no idea what she was talking about. And the time the sprinkler went off in school during a day she wasn't feeling very well, and ended up ending the school day. She figured the later was her own doing, accidentally, but later realized she could feel glee deep within. It was him. Her other half knew it. And now she did too. Why he didn't come out and just talk to her or torment her directly was beyond her, but she knew despite her talisman that he sensed her emotions, as well as she was sensing his presence. It was the same night that Drago started attacking again. They were stupid attacks and traps. He wanted to keep his father sealed forever, and he wanted to kill Jade. Nothing new. But he hadn't attacked for a week and a half now, so she supposed he was planning for something bigger. Like locking them in a museum for a few hours while he hunted her down. That checked out. What didn't make sense was Jackie having the talismans and handing her the dog and rabbit ones before running off to fight Drago's goons before Drago himself appeared. That only made sense once she realized he had accidentally split himself with a tiger talisman. Why did he have them right now? And that the good half was hiding, and his bad half was the one she was with that left her alone in order to go fight. She found his good half being pinned down by Drago and about to be fried shrimp before she called Drago the stupidest dragon prince she had ever seen, and started their game of cat and mouse. Another thing that didn't make sense was why Tarakudo had chosen right then to intervene and stopped her from getting barbecued all of a sudden, and then proceeded to trap Drago and take Jade to a safer area to hide. Until now, that is. Now it all made sense. This was his plan all along. He wanted to trap her and run down her time on her talisman so it would stop working and she would have to use her dark powers to escape. She now sat here wishing he would have just let her been barbecued. She knew the only way out of this now was if Jackie could pull himself together and make Drago flee somehow. She doubted that, though. Tarakudo was going to win. She gripped her necklace harder when she felt the spark of glee run through her chest from that thought. It was 11:30 p.m. now. She coddled her head in her knees. She could feel an itch in her fingers to take off the necklace. After all, wasn't it suppressing her? Wasn't it keeping her from using the Chinese talismans? Wasn't it only hurting her at this point? She could beat Drago all on her own if she just took it off. She had nothing to be afraid of. "Stop it!" she shouted at the king that she had sensed moved back over to her while she was mentally spiraling. He laughed like she had just said the funniest thing in the world.
Why, I'm not doing anything, Miss Chen.
His humor suddenly fell and he got more serious.
If there is anyone to be angry with, it's yourself.
She felt her blood turn to ice the moment their eyes met. Why was she doing this to herself? Why was she fighting her own instincts? Why was she changing herself just to make other people happy? No, stop, please. She whimpered quietly as she managed to squeeze her eyes shut while her tears fell down.
I take no pleasure in your pain, my dear. There are many ways I could turn you, but I want it to be your choice this time. But I do have a question for you. Are you happy?
He asked her gently. She let her tears keep rolling down her face as she choked out her answer. Yes. He merely tessed at this.
Then why did you hide my mark? Why didn't you tell your uncles that you knew I was back and nearby? Why didn't you tell them what was going on with yourself? Surely you realize that the mark couldn't be disposed of until I was sealed again after you failed to get rid of it. Did you plan on changing necklaces and making new ones forever, Jade?
That was more than one question, was what she wanted to say. But she could feel the ice in her veins numbing her senses and quelling the destructive fire that raged within her.
I just want you to be happy with yourself. Now answer with the truth this time, dear. Are you happy?
She felt the question challenge every memory she held onto to keep herself from turning dark. The numbness muted those memories into fleeting pictures of someone else's life. She stopped crying. No, she said quietly. It was now midnight.